So we're going to start with an A minor chord in the first bar. And the tune itself is really in the key of A minor. So starting on the 5th string with my thumb. And why is that? Yes, exactly, because the bass, the root is on the 5th string of the chord. Very good. So we're going to go like this. 5, 4, 6, 4. On our first bar, though, the A minor. So we have 2 pinches on the first 2 beats. We have a pinch with the 3rd string and the thumb, and then another pinch with the 3rd string and the thumb. Okay, now the 3rd beat, we pinch once again with the 3rd string and the thumb, but on the and of beat 3 we have a little bit of syncopation. I'm going to play the 2nd string like this. So I get 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm sort of swinging these 8th notes a bit, so they're not even like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Instead, the swing 8th note feels going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a little more relaxed there with your 8th note. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's bar number 1, just the A minor. Okay, and I've got the muted bass on the bottom 3 strings. I'm a little bit muting with the left hand where I'm playing the note and then I'm sort of picking up the pressure a little bit to make it sort of staccato. I could just let them all ring out like this. That's a fine way to do it, but sometimes I like to have a little bit of those short staccato notes by lifting up the pressure on that melody. Especially the first 2 beats. Okay, now the next chord here is still an A minor. We're gonna have C in the bass, all right? And the melody is actually the same. The only difference here is the thumb is only going from the 5th string to the 4th string. All right, so just alternating 5, 4, 5, 4. All right, that's bar 2. Now bar 3, we have a B minor 7 flat 5, okay? And the pattern's a little bit different here. The thumb is still staying 5, 4, 5, 4. And we start out the same way with 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. That's what we're adding is that and on the 4th beat. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Try that again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. There it is. So you have quite a bit of syncopation there in the second half of the bar. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So that 4th bar, we just stay on this chord and you keep your alternating bass, the boom chick, going. Let's look at the first 4 bars really slow all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So especially when I hit that open E string on this B minor 7 flat 5, let that sustain. Try to make sure that no fingers here on the left hand are muting that string, which is hard to do sometimes, but nice and arched, make sure you get that open melody note. One more time, first 4 bars. Okay, let's move on. The next chord in bar 5 is an E7, and we're going to have a slide here on the 2nd string. So I'm going to start with sort of this shape of an E7, and I'm only going to rotate from 6th string to the 4th string here. So my thumb's going 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4. 2 bars in a row with the E7. And what we're going to do with the melody is the 4th finger here, the ring finger, or the pinky finger, excuse me, is what I use. I slide that up here, you'll see, from the 2nd fret, 2nd string, to the 3rd fret. Let me show you what I mean. So the first 2 beats are pinches. First 2 pinches right on the beat. 1, 2. Now beat 3, I pinch again, 3rd string, 3, and 4. So that slide that I'm doing on the 2nd string comes in on the and of beat 3. Now, you don't want to worry. The best thing to do, I would say, is actually take this E7 shape and practice it first without the slide, because you want to have the correct rhythm with the right hand, and then we'll add in the slide later, because the slide's not going to change what we do with the right hand. That's the important part. We're going to hear an extra note in there, but we don't have to play anything different with the right hand, and this can sometimes be tricky to get down. So here's that fifth bar, E7, without the slide. I'm just going to play right up to that D note. Here's what that would sound like. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so once you sort of have a grasp on that pattern, then you can try to add in the slide. Okay, so again, the right hand doesn't change. Here it is with the slide. Now, the tricky part about this is that when you slide, as that note gets up to the D string on beat 4, you've got to make sure your thumb keeps going and hits the 4th string. So let's just take a second and loop that bar, because it's a tricky one. Okay, and once I do get to the 3rd fret, that D note with the pinky, let it ring and let it sustain. All right, so moving on from there, I'm gonna actually let's play that E7 bar again, bar 5. Now I do the same pattern, but I pick up the pinky and I sort of collapse this index finger and do a bar, a partial bar. And I wanna get, really the string I'm after here is I wanna get the 2nd string, the C note, which is like the sharp 5 of the chord. Okay, I'm gonna try to bar and I want the 1st fret, both the 2nd and 3rd string. Now, if you sort of cover up the 1st string as well, that's fine. We're not gonna play that string, but we really wanna get the 2nd and 3rd string with the index finger. So this would be bar number 6, same pattern, like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so here's those 2 bars of the E7, bars 5 and 6. So you can hear I let that D note on top sustain right through both those E7 bars till I pick it up and play down to the C note. So it's ringing out there. Back to A minor. Okay, so 1 time slow through the whole A section. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let that E ring out. Let that D ring out. I missed it there because I was talking. All right, but again, the key is on some of those melody notes, you really want to let them sustain and ring and keep your thumb alternating. So let's look at the B section of the tune now, okay? It goes up to D minor 7. All right, so I have a little bit of a partial bar here with the index finger, and middle finger is on the 3rd string. So I'm getting the 1st and 2nd string there. So our thumb here, it's a 4th string root chord. On the left hand, we're gonna go 4, 3, 5, 3 with the thumb, okay, on the D minor 7. I have a pinch on beat 1 with the thumb, index, and middle finger. So it's the 1st and 2nd string on top there. And then a little bit of syncopation. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on the and of beat 3, what I do is I add my pinky finger up on the 3rd fret 1st string. So I get this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's your D minor 7. Now we're back to our A minor 7. Or just actually it's an A minor triad. But what we're gonna do here that's kind of interesting, it's sort of a picking pattern. I'm back on my A minor, I'm going 5, 4, 6, 4. And I'm gonna add some syncopation on the and of beat 1 by pairing the index and middle finger together. So this is kind of a new concept to practice is the idea of pairing fingers together when you have syncopation. And these type of patterns are things that I work on a lot, especially working on a lot of Jerry Reed music. He does this kind of thing a lot. But it's nice. You get a little bit of the melody and a chord tone as well. So you get this. That's the pattern there for our A minor. It's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So pinch on beat 1 with the thumb and ring finger. The and is the index and middle. Beat 2 is the thumb. The and of beat 2 now is the ring finger by itself again. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So those first 2 bars of the B section again. Okay, then we go back up to the D minor 7, but this time we just pinch on beats 2 and 4. And then to our A minor, we're going to pinch on beats 1 and 2. Beats 1 is just thumb and ring finger. And then beat 2 is the top 4 strings all together. So then we have the open A string on beat 3. Then the 3rd fret A string, 5th string there, on beat 4. So let's look at those first 4 bars of the B section. Now we go back to the D minor 7, and we have a pinch here on the first beat, the same way we did it the first time around. Like that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Back to our A minor with our pattern with the index and middle paired. All right. Then we come to a B minor 7 flat 5, and here I'm just going 5, 4, 5, 4 with a thumb. Okay, so similar rhythmic phrasing as we had in the A section. Now we're going to do our E7. On beat 1 is just the 6th string open. Beat 2, I'm going to pinch the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. And that's when I'm going to also slide up again with my 4th finger from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. And then while those other lower notes are ringing, on the and of beat 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to just play that C note on top. The trick here is you want to let the chord still ring out while you're changing that note. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay? And let that all ring out for the rest of the bar. Then we're back to the A section again. So let's just do the entire B section. 1, 2, 3, 4. B minor 7 flat 5, the E7, back to A, etc. Okay? Now the only thing we have to cover, which we haven't to complete this tune, is the coda, or the ending. So the form of the tune, the way we did in the performance, is the A section is repeated twice, so A, and then we have the B section, then we come back to the A section, so A, B, A is our form. However, the very last time of the A section, we're going to go into this coda, the ending. Let me show you how we get into that. So here's the last A section. We've just come out of the bridge. Right here, we're going to the coda. So it's A minor for 2 beats. 1, 2. Now we play A minor 7 with G in the bass, basically. So it's A minor for 2 beats. 1, 2. Add your pinky on string 6, 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. That's what we want to have there. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Now this and we did, which is the ring, middle, and index on the top 3 strings. We want to let those notes sustain, and they sort of anticipate this next chord that's coming up. This is like a G flat or F sharp, either one, minor 7, flat 5. So we want to let those top notes sustain because we want to let those ring out as we get our next chord. A couple fingering options here. So let's take that first bar of the coda again. Probably the easiest way, if you're familiar with putting your thumb over the top, if you've done that, the easiest way is you just leave the A minor shape and you just add the thumb there on that G flat note. So. Okay, you could switch to this shape if you want. You could do that as well. All right, so one more time. Just let the thumb alternate, 6, 4. Now we're gonna go down to an F6. Now again, if you've used your thumb over the top before, or you wanna try that, it is a common technique to use in the left hand for a lot of finger style pieces. You don't have to do it. So let me show you what it's like if you do the thumb. You just move that down, pick up the middle finger, and you have this F6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you didn't want to do that, you could maybe play it this way. If you don't want to use the thumb over the top. And then the last chord we're going to play is we're going to slide up from the first fret, second string, to this really nice E7 augmented chord. All right, so I've got my pinky there, 4th string, 6th fret, ring finger on the 5th fret, 3rd string, and my index finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. So I'm sliding up from C up to D, let that sustain. And here on the right hand, it's sort of an arpeggio. And at this point, we've slowed down. It's the end of the tune. You don't really have to be in time. And then I'm going to slide this. I want to keep that ring finger down on the 3rd string and slide it right back down to A. And we're just going to strum an A minor chord. So let's look at the coda really slow. Let that ring out. F6. Now here you're gonna, on the and of beat 4, slide up, and 1. Here it is. All right, so that's level 3, and it's getting more and more complex as we go. Take your time and work on things in segments, right? Just take short phrases, get them down, and then sort of patch things together as you go. All right, so take your time and have fun with that level 3 tune.